Calls are growing for Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia to not be appointed to the House Committee on Education and Labor after social media comments supporting QAnon conspiracy theories and calling the Parkland shooting and Sandy Hook tragedy staged events. Congresswoman Jahana Hayes speaking with me tonight over the phone, calling her actions deplorable and unacceptable. Georgia Republican House member Marjorie Taylor Greene has come under fire for recent comments she made promoting QAnon conspiracy theories, also questioning school shootings in the past years as well.
We also have a role in Congress to discipline our own members for their behavior.
Representative Jahana Hayes joining 120 other co-signers of a letter calling to block Greene's appointment to the House Education and Labor Committee.
Just to have someone on this committee who doesn't even believe that school shootings are happening, that are using terms like false flag and calling the children in Sandy Hook actors, doesn't say to me that this person could legislate in good faith to come up with solutions to keep our kids safe.
During the Republican primary last year for Georgia's 14th district, video reported by CNN showed Greene confronting a 17-year-old survivor of the Parkland school shooting, saying that the incident and the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School were both, quote, staged events.
Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance?
The parents of Sandy Hook victims releasing a statement reading, quote, having a Sandy Hook and Parkland denier on the House Education and Labor Committee is an attack on any and every family whose loved ones were murdered in the mass shootings. They have now become fodder for hoaxers. We're grateful for people like Representative Jahana Hayes, who understand that hateful conspiracy theories and suggestions that our children's violent deaths never happened have no place in our society, much less in the United States Congress.
The work of this committee is deeply personal to me, and I recognize that this committee has jurisdiction over things like school climate and trauma-informed educational practices.
Things Congresswoman Hayes and the other co-signers of her letter believe Representative Greene should not be overseeing following her comments. Some House Democrats have called for Greene to face repercussions amid the new reports over her comments, including purported threats on Facebook against Nancy Pelosi, in which she suggested the speaker be, quote, executed for treason.
Calling for Democratic representatives to be physically attacked, calling for, just some of the violent rhetoric that she's directed at the speaker and some of the other members. That's not how we disagree, especially in Congress. And I don't think anyone on either side should be condoning or supporting that, because we've seen the harmful effects of words and how they incite actions.
Now, this week, Greene removed dozens of Facebook posts from both 2018 and 2019 in which she endorsed the conspiracy theories. Greene, who made the comments before running for Congress, posted a statement on her Twitter account on Tuesday of this week in which she did not deny that she liked posts and replied to comments, but did claim that many people have run her Facebook page for her. All right.